Hey everyone, Kevin here. What I'm going to do in this video is do an audio test and compare two USB condenser microphones. This one that you're listening to just now is the Firstec U-188 and here is the Blue Yeti. Now this one retails at only £29.99 in the UK, this one retails at £100. But you can usually pick it up between 80 and 90, at certain points of the year. Now, at 3 times the price, the real question is, is that price justified? Now, I did a full review of this the other day, so if you want to get a better idea of what this can do, then please check out that review. But I will say there was one thing that I noted that was actually, well, not wrong, but I didn't know at the time. Now, I don't have my earphones on, and at the time I said that I couldn't monitor through my earphones. Now, I thought that was an issue with Adobe Audition, but there is an option in Windows, which I've never seen before. If you click on your microphone, then click on levels. If you click on microphone properties, then listen, there's an option to listen to this device. Now, I've not had to do that before because when I've plugged in the Blue Yeti, when I've plugged in my Samsung Q2U, it's just automatically started, like monitoring my audio when I've put the earphones through it. For whatever reason, you have to go through and click listen to this device. The reason I'm not wearing these headphones just now is that I still can't monitor it correctly. There's a little bit of latency issue because obviously the sound's going to the computer and then coming back to the headphones, and I can't fix the latency. I've tried lots of different settings, so I'm not sure if it's a driver issue. I'm not sure if it's a setting issue with the microphone. I mean, I do know that with my other microphones it works, out of the box, but that's why I don't have these on. Now, Audio Selection left a comment the other day, the user Audio Selection, and he said that it's not the microphone that's the problem. If you stay close enough, you can lower the gain level. Now, he's referring to the background noise that you're maybe hearing just now. And just to kind of distract for a second, I'm not going to change the audio in any way throughout this video, which means that what you hear, is what's recording. I'm not editing it, I'm not normalizing it, I'm not changing any levels or anything like that. It goes on to say that if you stay close enough, you can lower the gain level. This will make your voice sound fuller, and it will also reduce any unwanted ambient sounds. So maybe you should experiment with proximity. So I'd like to do that for you guys just now. And you can see here, just to show you, I'm recording what you're hearing just now through Adobe Audition. So if I go a little bit closer, you should be able to hear me better, but you can see that I'm clipping into the red there. So ideally what I want to do is get the microphone where it's like in the yellow maybe. I think that's maybe the best place to hold this microphone. When you go back a little bit, you need to speak a little bit louder. Now, you could put this obviously onto a boom arm, get this microphone close to you, and you're maybe going to pick up less sounds in the background, less static sound, and as he points out, the sound is going to be richer. But this isn't a dynamic microphone, so if I sit back, you should still be able to hear me. You don't need me to go really, really close to the microphone. Now, there's one thing I did notice as well. I mean, it's in the if you can call it an instruction manual, the 4-page leaflet that you get with this microphone. It says that, you go into your Windows properties and you can change the gain level. What I noticed though, again, this could be a setting issue, but what I noticed that when I was changing the gain level between 0 and 100, it didn't actually change the gain level. It didn't change the recording level. So I'm not sure if that's a setting issue with Adobe Audition or perhaps with the microphone itself. I'm not sure, but I did change the gain level through the microphone properties and nothing really changed. Now that is in contrast to the Blue Yeti, which has a gain dial at the back. So let me know what you think about this microphone. Try and keep the quality in mind. What I'm going to do now is take out this funky blue USB cable and put in this stylish black one. So let's jump to the Blue Yeti. So now you're listening to the Blue Yeti, and just to make things a little bit fair, I'm going to move the pop filter because I wasn't using a pop filter with the previous microphone. Now, I did notice that, I did note there was a few problems with the other microphone as far as I couldn't get the headphone to monitor correctly. I couldn't get my headphones to work with it without there being a slight echo, which just messes up the way you're talking because you're hearing yourself from a second ago. And it could be a setting issue, it could be a driver issue, but I think it is telling that when I put in the Blue Yeti, everything works immediately, which makes me think, is it a setting issue or is it maybe the microphone? I'm not sure. Now, this is a quality microphone. It does cost more than 3 times the price, but you can see where they've spent the money. I mean, it is a good microphone. I have said sometimes in the past that this is a little bit overrated, and I think it's just because when doing certain things like podcasting, streaming and things like that, I do rely on my Samsung Q2 more because this one picks up a lot of background sound. But there's no denying this is a great little microphone. It really is versatile. And I mean, you can look at it, this thing is a beast. That microphone, I weighed the microphone alone at 81 grams, and this one weighs at 550 grams. It's got 3 capsule modules in it, I believe, 3 microphones. Now, there's 4 different patterns on the back here, which you should be able to see. And you can put it in cardioid mode, stereo mode, omnidirectional mode, or bi-directional mode. So, which one am I? I'm using the cardioid mode just now. Now, cardioid means it will just be coming forward. Stereo, omnidirectional is all around, and bi-directional, it should only pick up front and back. So if you're doing an interview, I'll link to the Blue Yeti page so you can read more about that. The key thing though about this is it's got the volume button as well, which is, it's easier using a volume control than trying to hold these buttons in. Plus it's worth noting that the volume buttons didn't work anyway. Well, I couldn't get them to work myself. It's got a mute button as well, which is quite useful. I really do find this a really great microphone when I'm streaming with the PS4 because I can mute, I can change my volume. But most importantly, in addition to the 4 different recording patterns that you can use, the biggest thing is that it's got gain control. So if I get the right switch, is it the top or bottom? It's the top. So I'm going to just turn it around here so I can see it right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it right down low and then I'm going to turn it up high. So I apologise in advance because this is going to be annoying. I'm going to go from a quiet little mouse to clipping where it's very loud and it's maybe too loud and it's going to annoy you. So I'm going to turn it down to the lowest setting. So this is the lowest setting. But you can see that even with the gain level way down the bottom, I'm still going into the yellow and the red here, so you should be able to hear me okay. Now, when I'm recording with my PS4, I generally try and keep the gain level low so that I don't pick up a lot of background noise. But I'm going to turn it up now, and I'll bring it up to the halfway line. Now, you can see I'm talking at the same level and I'm clipping now. If I turn this around, you should be able to see that. Can you see that? I'm clipping. So I'm clipping now, and what I'm going to do now is put it up to full, and I'm not going to talk long at this because it was really driving nuts. So this is the highest gain level and it's very loud. I should be clipping, and anything I say goes into the red, which means it's too loud, so I need to bring it down. I think it's better to bring it really, really low. But if you're recording a live stream or a podcasting, this is going to be very, very useful because you can quickly find the right gain level. Just look at your levels and see if you're clipping, see how far you are from the microphone and how it performs, etc. Because both of these are condenser microphones, you will pick up some background noise and static, but like Audio Selection said as the comment yesterday, it really does depend how you get everything set up, how close you are. You can see here, where if I drop the gain all the way down to the bottom, but then I stay close to it, you're going to hear a very rich sound, you're going to hear very quality sound. And you can imagine if the gain was set low and this was on a boom arm, you're going to hear me, but you're not going to hear too much background noise. And really that's the key to this microphone over that one. This one is quite a good little microphone for the price, but the Blue Yeti just gives you that little bit more versatility, a little bit more flexibility in how you record, different recording environments, the gain control, the volume control, everything's set up a little bit better. Plus the 4 different recording patterns really do make a difference. I will link to my previous review of this and you can check it out. And you can see this little pop filter that I use as well. Keeps out the P's and B's and all the That's something I don't have for that one. So yeah, I'm not trying to influence your judgment too much, but again, it comes down to how you set these things up. Both of these microphones can perform well, and both of them can perform very, very badly. It really does depend how you set it up. If you can set either of these microphones on a boom arm, reduce the gain, and speak closely to the microphone, then I think that both of them will produce very, very good audio. Good enough for a podcast, good enough for YouTube, for live streaming or anything like that. When you put the gain level up, when you're sitting a little bit further back, it's quite, you might be able to hear that, there's an ice cream van here. Yeah, when you sit back a little bit, I mean, this is the benefit of a condenser microphone, where you can sit back and you can still hear me okay, which is quite good. Sometimes you don't always want to be hunched over to the microphone. It is good to just sit back and talk. But the downside to that is you probably heard my chair squeaking. You perhaps hear my central heating, some background noise, some static. It really does come up down to how you set it up. Now, again, just to reiterate, I'm not changing the audio file, so good or bad, you know, there's probably like 50 different ways I could have did this audio test, but good or bad, what I've recorded is what you're hearing. I'm not changing the audio to influence one microphone in any way. Quite frankly, I don't have a dog in the fight. You know, it doesn't bother me which one is better or not. I own this one. This one I'm going to give to my friend Kevin because he's doing a podcast, so he's going to get a loan of that. Well, he's going to get it because I don't need it, if I'm honest. And he's going to get that one. But although I paid for the Blue Yeti, I do still consider my Samsung Q2U to be a better microphone for most of my situations. But I will say that the Blue Yeti, I don't think I've done enough to get the most out of it. The reason being that I do have a dynamic microphone, so I've never really been forced to learn the best recording environment, the best recording setup for the Blue Yeti. So I've kind of been lucky or lazy, whatever way you look at it. You know, I've had a good dynamic microphone, so when this didn't record correctly for me, when it was picking up background noises, I just switched to the other microphone. I didn't have to learn how to tweak this to get it set up correctly. But I'll put it over to you guys. Let me know what you think. As I said, this one retails at £30 in the UK. This one is at £100 in the UK. And, you know, it's similar prices in the USA. You know, this will be about $30, $40 and this will be about $100 or so. So, is this 3 times better than that? Probably not, but you probably did hear a big difference in the audio quality. But if you're starting out, you really can't discount the fact that some of the cheaper microphones out there, USB microphones or, you know, 3.5mm microphones, some of them do punch above their weight for the price that you're paying. So, you know, in the future, I'm sure I'm going to buy a lot more microphones. I'm going to test a lot more microphones. I'd like to improve my own audio and for my own videos, but I'm keen to do more cheap microphone reviews as well, because you see a lot of these people online recommending microphones, and they're recommending microphones that are hundreds of pounds or hundreds of dollars, and they're not for everyone. You know, if you're just starting out and you want to keep your costs low, you know, I was speaking to my friend Kevin, and he says that he's not scared to spend money on microphones in the future, but at the moment, you know, they're just starting out. They're not sure whether the podcast is going to pick up. They're not sure whether they'll drop it after a few months or whether, you know, they'll lose interest. So they don't want to invest in something that's going to, you know, then ultimately the microphone will just sit in a drawer doing nothing. So in that position, I can understand that thinking. I do think that when you're starting out, if you want to just test the water, or if you're on a budget, there's a lot to be said about picking something up cheap and then just, you know, moving up as you progress, as your podcast gets more popular, as your YouTube channel gets more popular. But I'll leave it over to you. I'll put it over to you guys now, and let me know what you think. I hope that I've covered all bases, but let me know what you think about both of these microphones. I'll link to my unboxing and reviews of them, and you can find out more about them. I'll link to the sales pages of them as well if you want to read more information about it. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it, and keep the comments coming. You know, with all this audio stuff, I don't profess to be the biggest audio expert in the world, but, you know, I think with these things, it's interesting just to do some audio tests, and then you guys can tell me what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. Take care.